Okay, in the last class, which topic we have done? Argo City done, right? Okay. So from today onwards, we are going to start the AWS concepts. Which concepts? Don't worry, DevOps is not yet done. Okay. So there is a tool called Terraform. Okay. But if I want you to teach Terraform, first of all, you need to learn AWS. That is the reason I'm starting AWS here. So the first service from the AWS point of view, I'm going to start is load balancer. Which one? So what exactly the meaning of load balancer? Can anyone tell me? What is load balancer and why we need to use it? Distribution of load. Okay. Then, okay. Let me draw a neat diagram for all of you. So you'll be getting the clarity. Let me open the paint here. Yes, Pia. KDS is done. For example, let's say all of you eat mandis, right? Mandis. Everyone. How many of are like eat non-veg here? Raise your hands. Non-vegetarians. You won't eat non-veg, huh? The craziest part is from this side, I'm seeing 0. Okay, fine. So basically what happened, like we are having the Swiggy application. Which application? Swiggy. At least all of you eat pizzas, right? At least. So for example, let's say Domino's pizza is 150 rupees. How many rupees? On a special offer, it is coming for 30 rupees only. On a special offer, it is coming for, don't worry, it is not fresh, it is rotten. Anyways, okay. So you have seen the Swiggy application is giving the Domino's for 30 rupees. What you do first of all? You will book the pizza. But your account is only having the capability of booking only one pizza. Second pizza you cannot book. But you want to eat 2 pizzas. In that case, what you're gonna do? You're gonna call to your friend and gonna tell Macha pizza is coming for 30 rupees only. You order for me, correct or not, sir? What he do? He'll order. Then again, what he do? He'll call to the next floor people and tell them pizza is coming for only 30 rupees. Like that, the news will be spreading for first of all one floor, then entire building, then entire Amirpet. Now everybody will use that Domino's application or not, sir? When people are using the application very vigorously, that means very what we call, these people are using the application frequently, then the application will get load or not, sir? Whenever application will get load, what will happen? Server will be crashed. So in that case, we are going to use a concept called load balancer. Which one? If I use the concept of load balancer, my server will get the traffic equally. For example, if 100 users are using the application, 50 user will go to server A, 50 user will go to server B. If I don't use load balancer, 100 users will go for server 1 or not, sir? Then in that case, what will happen for the server 1? It will be crashed. So for that purpose, we are going to use the concept called load balancer, that is called as elastic load balancer. Which one? So now if I go and see, elastic load balancer main purpose is to distribute the web traffic. Okay, traffic which is coming from the web is called as web traffic. Again, what is the meaning of traffic? Tell me. Correct. Incoming request and outgoing response will be called as traffic. So the main purpose is to distribute the incoming traffic to server. Here, how many servers I have? 3. And how many users I have? 6. If I distribute the load to the servers, each server will get 2 users or not, sir? How it will work means, first user request will go to load balancer will send it to server number 1. Second user request will go to load balancer, send to server number Sorry. Again, third user request will go to load balancer. Again, it will go to server number 3. Now again, whenever the fourth request is going to send the request, this time request will again go to the server number 1. Fifth user request will go to server 2. Sixth user request will go to server number 3. Like that, each server will get at least 2 requests. No, sir, if I have 9 users, each server will get how many requests? 3. That is going to be done by the elastic load balancer. Which one? Elastic load balancer main purpose is to distribute the traffic. Now coming to the load balancers, basically load balancer is categorized into 4 different types. How many types? First one is application load balancer. Second one, network load balancer. Third one, classic load balancer. And fourth one is the gateway load balancer. Which one? If I go to my AWS console, in my AWS console, wait, screen got stuck. If I go to the section of load balancers, if I try to create the new load balancer, first one you are seeing application, second one network, third one gateway, finally classic load balancer. Okay, application load balancer will support the HTTP and HTTPS protocols. That means if your request is HTTP or HTTPS, what you are going to use? Application load balancer. No, sir. If your request is coming from TCP or UDP or TLS, I think all of you know TLS, right? TLS stand for transfer layer security. It is the newer version of SSL. So if your request is coming from TCP port or UDP port or TLS port, you are going to use network load balancer. Application load balancer is for normal applications. Okay. But your application is getting millions of requests per second. Per second, millions of requests. In that case, what you are going to use here? Network load balancer. Let's take, I'll open a small use case here. Okay. First of all, you are using the application called Swiggy application. Which application? So if I use Swiggy application, mostly at a time, 1000 users or 10,000 users will come. So in that case, that is normal load only, 1000 and 10,000. I can use application load balancer. But remember, I'm going to tell a situation which is never going to happen. But yes, for us, it is going to happen. RCB went to playoff in the final. RCB went to finals. That means IPL finals. Okay. So Virat Kohli need only 1 run in 6 balls to complete his century and to lift the RCB trophy. Same like me. Okay. So RCB is only 1 run away to lift the trophy and Virat Kohli is on 99. At that time, Hotstar application will get millions of requests or not, sir? Everybody in the India will see the IPL only. Now in that case, whenever I am getting the millions of requests, what I'll use here? Network load balancer. So for Swiggy application here, application. Is the difference of using the application and network clear for all of you? When the requests are millions, use network. Now, sir, if the requests are not millions, it's a normal way. You can use application. That's it. And here HTTP, HTTPS protocol support by application load balancer. Network will support TCP, UDP, TLS. Classic load balancer is the previous generation of application load balancer. That means before application load balancer comes into the market, we use classic. Application load balancer comes in there 2016. Which year? 16. That means just now at that year, you might complete your 10th class. I think so. Right? So at that time, the load balancer comes into the market actually. But before 2016, we are using the classic load balancer. The best part about classic load balancer is it support HTTP, HTTPS, TCP. Every protocol it will be supported. So these are the types of load balancers. Again, I'll tell you how many type of load balancers we do have. 4. First one, application, network, gateway, classic load balancer. But we use application load balancer normally. But for very big applications like Hotstar, we use network. Correct. So is the concept of load balancer and types of load balancers clear for all of you? First of all, online is the types of load balancers clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Okay. Next. So coming to the load balancer pattern, guys, yeah, gateway load balancer, I'll explain, Shivani. That we are not going to use on real time, but I'll explain for you. Okay. So coming to the load balancer work on the OSI model. Which model? Now, what is an OSI? Operating system. What is the meaning of OSI? How many of you are like from CSC here? Huh? You are easy, yeah? Then tell me what is OSI. No, it's wrong. By the way, belated happy birthday. Hmm. Tell me what is OSI? Open system interconnection. Which one? It's not operating system interface, sir. OSI stand for open system interconnection. That is how your computers will work actually. That is how your computers, operating system, everything will work here only. For example, if you take an OSI, first layer will be physical layer, second layer will be data, third one network, fourth transport, fifth session, sixth presentation, seventh. This you are going to learn from a subject called computer networks during your final year of graduation. There is a subject called computer networks. The first chapter in the computer network is OSI model. Very first chapter. Correct? అట్లా ఉంటుంది మళ్ళీ. But again, you forgot, right? Like this. Okay, anyways, guys, here you are not going to remember all of these steps. I just want to tell you that load balancer is completely depending upon the OSI model. Which model, guys? OSI model. So in this OSI, first one physical layer, second data, third network, fourth transport, fifth session, sixth application, and seventh one will be application. So these are the 7 different layers. Coming to the application load balancer will work on which layer? 7th layer. That means it support HTTP and HTTPS. Network load balancer will be working on 3rd layer. That means it support TCP and UDP. And finally, classic is both combination of 7th and 3. HTTP, HTTPS, TCP, UDP. It can be supporting by all the protocols. And OSI stand for Open System Interconnection and UDP stand for User Datagram Protocol, UDP full form. But again, in interview, these all questions are not going to asked by the interviewer. But I'm teaching for your knowledge. Learning the concepts is not your motto. And teaching the concept is not my motto. I want to give the subject. Teaching the concept is different. Teaching the subject is different. Okay. That is the reason I'm teaching everything from the root level for you. Okay. So now coming to the architecture, how your load balancer will work. I'm going to draw a live architecture for all of you. This architecture will be giving a lot of clarity for the concept. Okay. So guys, if you understand the architecture, working in the real time will be very easy. So for the next 5 minutes, please put all your attention here. Okay. So coming to this one, sir, how many servers we require to create an application in real time? Three servers, right? What are the 3 servers? 2 web servers, 2 application servers, 2 DB. Why 2 means if one server got failed, we have the backup of other server. So remember, in real time, definitely you need to maintain 2 servers. One server will not be helpful for you. So I have 2 web servers, I have 2 app servers, and I have 2 database server. Okay. So now here, my web server is to see the application, correct or not, sir? To see the app. And app server is to use the application. This is to use the application. And database server is to store data. To store data. Correct. Okay. So now what I'll be doing, for example, I'm having a user here. User 1. Okay. User 2. User 3. And user 4. These 4 people are trying to access the application. Whenever if a user send the request, first of all, the request will go to the web server. Which server? Already you know. So first request will go to web server. From the web server, again the request will go to app. Again from the app, finally the request will go to DB server. Okay. So now, whenever if a user is trying to access the application, first of all, the request will go to the web server. But before the request will go to web server, I have a load balancer here. What I have? Load balancer. This is what I'll be calling it as external load balancer. Which load balancer? Okay. And like one more thing is internal load balancer to call as so internet. INTERNET. This is called as internet load balancer. Which load balancer, guys? Internet load balancer. So now if we go and check this one, sir, what is the advantage of this internet load balancer? You know, if a request is coming from internet, before the request will go to the server, first of all, the user request will go to the which load balancer? Internet load balancer. And again from the internet load balancer, first user request will be going to first server. Which server? First server. On the same way, second user request will go to the which server? Hey man, second server, man. Okay. So first user request will go to server number 1. Second user request will be go to server number 2. Again, if third user is there, again the third user request will go to again server number 1. Okay. Again, the fourth user request will be going to server number. That means, is my load balancer distributing the load equally or not, sir? Why? Because if there is no load balancer, all the requests will go to one server. Now, what happened to the one server? It is going to crash. Now, with installation of load balancer, is it distributing the load or not, sir? This is what I can call as internet load balancer. Which load balancer? Internet load balancer take request from the internet and distribute the load to the web server. Now, 4 users are using my application. Now, after request will come to the web server, again the request will need to go to the app. Again, how the request will go to the web to app means again I am going to use one more load balancer here. What I am going to use? One more load balancer. This time, this load balancer name is called as internal load balancer. Which load balancer, sir? Internal load balancer. So I'm gonna use TERNAL. This is internal load balancer. Okay. So what is the purpose of this internal load balancer? Internet load balancer take request from the internet and give to the web server. Now, whatever the request that come to web server that need to go to app server. But how it will go to app server? This internal load balancer will take the request from the web server and this pass the request to the app server. Which server, guys? App. Wait. So again, first request will go to first application server. Okay. Now again, second request will go to second app server. Again, third request will go to first web server, first app server, and fourth request will go to second app server. So in this way, the load is going to distribute. So now tell me, first of all, whenever user send the request will come from internet and it is go to which load balancer? Internet load balancer. Internet load balancer give the web server. Now again, all the users are using the web server, but to use the application, they need to go to app server. So the request will go from web server to app server by using the internal load balancer. Internal load balancer take the request from web and give it to app. Is the difference between internet and internal clear for all of you? Internet load balancer send the traffic to web server. Internal load balancer send the traffic to app server. Now my question is, which load balancer we are going to use for database? Internal or internet? Question is pretty straightforward. Which load balancer will distribute the traffic to database server? Yeah. Correct. The answer is nothing. To distribute the traffic to the database server, we don't use load balancer. Why? Because we never distribute the traffic to the database. Sir, user need to use the application and see the application. Why he need to access the data, sir? So this should not have any load balancer. Is my point clear for you? Yes. So is the architecture clear for all of you now? Online, can you please confirm me? Is the architecture clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in the chat box? So now I'm going to teach you how exactly you are going to implement this on practical way. So now I want to implement the practical way for the load balancer. So how do you do it? But before going to the practical part, here you need to understand couple of things here. First thing is, what is a listener rule? What is a target? What is a target group? Simple. Target is nothing but a server which have the application. What is target? I'm writing these keywords here. These are the keywords for the load balancer. First keyword is target. Which one, sir? Wait, it is target there. Let me rename it. Target. What is the meaning of target? A server which has application. Target means a single server. Okay. Single server. What is the meaning of target group? Group of servers. Okay. Group of servers. Okay. Target means it's a single server. Target group means group of servers. Sir, in real time, are we going to send the traffic to single server or multiple servers? Multiple servers. That means I need to group them. If I group the multiple servers together to distribute the load, that is called as target group. Which one? Target group. So again, target means single server, target group means group of servers. Third point is here listener rule. Listener rule. What is the meaning of listener rule? For example, let's say your application is running on port number 80. Which one? That is the listener rule. No, sir, if your application is running on port number 8080, that is your listener rule. Listener rule indicate our request need to go to which port number. If it is your web server, what is the web server port number? 80. If it is your app server, what is the application port number? 8080. That means I am telling to user, whenever a user send the request, the request will need to go to the web server. So what is the port number of web server? 80. So I need to configure my port number 80 here in the load balancer. If I don't configure my port number 80 on the load balancer, the request will not go to my server port number 80. Is it clear for you? That is the meaning of listener rule. Simply, I'll explain this on a different method. For example, the meaning of listener rule is whenever if you are logging to any application, you get to OTP or not, sir? For example, this is the OTP you get to your email. It is the OTP you get to your email. Now the same OTP you need to enter to the application login or not, sir? This both OTPs must be same. Here also, my application is running on port number 80 in the server. So to the load balancer, I need to tell that load balancer, whenever if you get a request from the user, okay, take the port number 80. Why? Because my application port number is 80. No, sir, if application port number is 81, then the load balancer port number is also going to be 81. That is called as listener rule. Which one? That's it. So these are the two things you need to understand before we go and proceed. Okay. First of all, whenever a load balancer get the request from the user, it will check the listener rule. Based upon the listener rule only, the application will send the request to web server or app server. See here for this load balancer, I have two listener rules. If the listener rule is 80, it will send to web server. Now, if it is 8080, it will send to. That's it. Okay. For your clarity, I am telling this concept. Okay. Now let's go and implement everything on practical way. So first of all, what I'm going to do is before you create a load balancer, first of all, you are going to create two servers. How many servers? And in the two servers, I'm going to run the application. So click on launch instances. Remember, in real time, your two servers must be created on two different availability zones. Why? Because if one server got deleted due to natural calamities like earthquakes, tsunamis, cyclones, and RCB winning the trophy, these kind of natural calamities will affect one server. So second server need to be on different zone or not, sir? Why? Because see, if I create both servers on single data center, if earthquake will come, complete data center will be lost. In that case, in real time, first server will be on data center number 1, second server will be on data center number 2. That means two different availability zones I am gonna select here. So click on launch instance. By the way, is anyone RCB fan here? No, right? I'm just using RCB as an example. Okay, don't take it personal. Huh? So it is my web server one, sir. It is my web server one. Okay. So I'm gonna take Amazon Linux 2 here. So T2 micro will be fine. I'm gonna take one key pair. And here I'm gonna give the port number all traffic. What I'm gonna give? Guys, but in real time, you don't give all traffic, guys. For web server, you only give port number 80. For app server, you only give port number. If you give all traffic, your system will be very easy to hack. But for your clarity, I'm using all traffic, okay? So, and one more thing, I need to select my first thing on availability zone. See here in the availability zone, are you seeing US East 1A? So I'm selecting US East 1A for my server number 1. Yeah, that's it. In the same way, let's create your server number 2 now. Now server number 2 need to be created on US East 1B. Why on US East 1B? Because if something happened to 1A, my server will be safe on 1B. This concept is called as high availability. Which one? Already you know high availability, right? High availability means maintaining more than one server. Why? Because if one goes down, we have second one. But in the high availability, you need to select two different availability zones. Correct. So these questions will come for the experienced people actually, not for the freshers, but experienced people, definitely these questions will come to for your interview. Edit. In the subnet, I'm going to select 1B. Security group here, so we have given all traffic. That is completely fine. Go. Now I'm going to install Swiggy application. Which application? You can install any application. For example, if you don't know how to write the code, can we use ChatGPT or not, sir? Simply you can go and use ChatGPT. Okay. So let me connect to Mobaxstorm here. So I have two different servers. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'll be launching an application here. What I'll be launching? Application. So install the Apache. Why? Because it is the web server, right? So I'm install httpd hyphen y. And after that, it's a service. You need to start it. Correct or not, sir? Systemctl start httpd. Okay. If you want to deploy the application simply, already we are having the script. If you go to my GitHub, if you go to Ramshake, if you go to all setups, here you are having Netflix script as well as Swiggy script. Directly you can go and run. But I am installing it manually. Why? Because I want to give more clarity for you. Script anybody can run, but I want to show you the manual process. Okay. Here, if you want to install Swiggy application, go here and swiggy.sh. Are you seeing this one? You can use this one also. So I started the application. Now I'm going to check the status. And can anyone tell me what is the path of web server? Bar www. Correct. www HTML. Now here you can go and write the index.html. What you can write? For example, let's say I want to create my Swiggy application. Which application? But you don't know how to write the code. What you can use? ChatGPT, right? Or you can use MyScript also, or you can use ChatGPT also. So for ChatGPT, I'm writing ChatGPT. Okay. I'm using ChatGPT here. See, in ChatGPT, what is the major thing? Generating the prompt is very, very important. The way how you are giving input is very, very important. I am writing generate a index.html page for Swiggy application. Okay, that's it. Automatically it will generate now. Is it generating or not, sir? Here we do not do anything. Automatically ChatGPT will take care of everything here. Okay. Or if you want some more information, what I can use is generate a front end code. I'm writing generate a complete front end code for Swiggy application. Complete front end code for Swiggy application. This is the one more prompt. If you use index.html, only that will come. But if I use this one, complete code will come. Here, if you can go and see, am I getting index.html, style.css, and script.js or not, sir? It is a complete application. If you want to practice your own application deployment, use this one. No need to learn HTML, CSS, and JS. If you know how to use ChatGPT, that will be enough. That is the reason I'm including ChatGPT in this course actually. Okay. First of all, it is my index.html. So I'll be going here and I'll writing VIM. Oh, wait. VIM index.html. So I'm pasting the code. So if I want to paste, I can use multi-paste. Is it pasted now? Come out of it. And what is the second code you want to use here? After index.html, I need to use here style.css. So go here and give VIM style.css. And again use multi-paste. And again, what is the third code here? Script.js. So give here vim script.js. Paste it here. That's it. So now you have everything on your application. So index.html is there, style.css, script.js is there. Now what I'll be doing, if I go here to my application, first of all, I'll be accessing the application from server number 1. In my server number 1, am I getting the Swiggy application here? Am I getting it or not? Of course, there is no images. Why? Because we haven't given the images. But if we give image, that will come. Okay. And again, in server number 2 also, I'll be getting the application. If I need to use your public IP address, what I need to use? If I give it here, I'll get the application. But if it is not good for you, what I'll suggest, use our own index.html. I think, W3 schools, right? So I'm using W3 schools login page. Why? Because if we use our own thing, it's going to be advantage for you. You can remember it easily. For example, if I go forms with icon, this already used for our Paytm movies, train and everything, right? Same thing I'm using now. Okay. I'm removing every code here, rm minus rf star. I don't have anything. So go for vm index.html. So here in the forms with icon section, I'm going to use this one. Click on try it yourself. I'm going to use, for example, Paytm movies. What I'm going to use? Paytm movies. If I click on run, is it coming or not, sir? I'll copy this code. But the only thing I'll do is here, only small thing, while I copy this one. So for my first server, I'm going to give the name as Paytm movies 1. Why? Because I want to indicate to user this application is working on server number 1. Okay. I want to make sure this is working on server number. Wait. Let me write it here. Okay. In the same way, now this code is running on my Paytm movie server number. The reason why I'm giving 1 and 2, while you access the application, you need to understand from where the code is coming. Okay. So now I need to save both of them. if I go and see, now from the server number 1, if I copy the public IP address, if I copy the public IP address, is my Paytm move is coming or not, sir? It is coming from server number 2. And it is coming from server number 1. So now what I'll do, I have the same application running on both of the servers, but users are trying to access the application from only one page. Now what will happen? Ultimately, the server will get more load, correct or not, sir? Now to prove it practically, I am going to give the public IP address for all of you. Open your mobiles in the meanwhile. So I'm going to show you the logs here. What I'm going to show here? Logs. So I'm going to give the public IP address for all of you. So try to copy the public IP address from here. It is IP address. Don't need to give everything here, just to give IP address only. And from online, from the chat box itself, I'm giving the public IP address. Tell me all of you are able to access the application or not. Is the application going now? Which server is getting more load? Server number 1 or 2? 1. Why means I'm giving the IP address of 1 to the user. Now in the server number 2, do you have any load here? No. So if I leave like this, automatically my server number 2 will be safe, but server number 1 will be very, very danger. Why? Because complete load is going for server number 1 only. So in order to distribute the load now, what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to use the concept called load balancer. Which one? Then how to create the load balancer means it is again very easy process. Go here in the section of load balancers, click on create a load. I am going for application. Which one? Name will be I am taking Paytm. Okay, what I am taking? Tell me, come into the scheme. I need to use internet facing or internal facing? Huh? Internet facing. Why? Because it is for my web server. Coming to the IP address, I'm using IPv4 here. No, sir, if I want IPv6 also, I can use IPv6 for it, but I'm using IPv4. Next, networking mapping. So currently, my servers are running on which availability zones? 1A, 1B. Security groups. I'm giving all traffic, but in real time, you need to give port number 80 only. Coming to the port number, sir, web server is running the application which port number? 80. So I have given this one. Now, if my servers are running the application port number 90, I need to give here 90. So I'm telling to load balancer, load balancer, load balancer. When a user send a request to you, take that request and give to the port number 80 of my servers. Okay. To which server I need to pass the port number 80 rule means server number 1 and server number 2. Now, sir, I want to distribute load to the both of the servers. Correct or not? So I need to make them as target group. What I need to make them as? Why I need to make them as target group means, for example, you have the server. You want to distribute the load. For single server, we distribute the load of multiple servers. So if I want to distribute the load to multiple servers, first of all, I need to group them. What I need to do? So how can I group them? Means by using the target group. So click on create target group. And if you go here, you need to click on instance. My targets are my servers only. Okay. Name of the target group will be target 1. What I'm using? Target 1. So click on next directly. Select the instances. These two are my servers. I am selecting them. Click on include as pending below. Click on target group. Very easy. Okay. Once if you create the target group, okay. Now you need to go back to the previous tab. It is the current tab that is having target group. Now I need to go to previous. And if I click on drop down, I'm not getting the target group. Why? Because I need to click on refresh. Are you seeing target 1? That's it. Simply go and create the load balancer. That is the process of creating the load balancer. Again, I'll explain the same process one more time for you. So listen carefully. First of all, you need to create 2 servers and you need to deploy the application. After that, create a load balancer. What is the type of the load balancer? create. Name will be, I'm giving it as Swiggy or like anything is fine. So next IPv4 and schema I need to select internet and I need to select the VPC as well as my availability zone. In which availability zone my server is there? 1A and 1B. So I need to select 1A and 1B. After that, I need to give the port number 80, but I'm giving all traffic here. And after that, I need to give the listening rule. So my application is running on which port number? I need to give it. And here I need to give my servers to which I want to distribute the load. For that purpose, you need to create the target group. So my targets are nothing but instances. Target group name, I'm going to give it as target group 2. After that, click on next. You need to click on this both servers and click on include pending below. The moment if you click on create target group, automatically targets will come to the, but you need to click on refresh, then only it is going to visible. After you selecting them, finally you are going to click on create load balancer. This is the process. Is the process of creating the load balancer clear for everyone here? Online, can you please confirm is the load balancer creation clear for all of you or not? Can you please confirm in chat box? Clear, great. Now, currently the load balancer on which state? It need to come as active. So wait for a couple of minutes until it get active, okay? So now are seeing the DNS here. I'll copy the DNS, but before I go and paste, currently I am giving the load freshly. Okay, so there is nothing logs now. I'm gonna make this side by side here. So now you can see the live load of how the servers are going to get now. So here I'm going to make this half of the screen. First half I'm going for my browser. Second half I'm going for my servers. I'm copying the load balancer URL now. Now see, both of the servers will get the load equally. Let me show it here. Okay. So if I click on enter, first of all, the application is going for which server? 2. Again, click on refresh. Now 1. Again, refresh. 2. Again, 1. Again, if I click on refresh, request is going to server number 2. Again, if I click on refresh, again, request is going for server number 1. Now tell me, load is going to distribute equally for both of my servers or not, sir? How it is distributing with the help of? That is the capability of load balancer. Without load balancer, you cannot create an application in the real time. Trust me, if you do like that, your application will be gone. Why? Because unfortunately, heavy users will come. What will happen, sir? We need to distribute the load or not, sir? So, which AWS service will distribute the load to the users? Load balancer. Which type of load balancer we use it here? Application load balancer. It support which protocol? HTTP and HTTPS. What is second load balancer? Network. When we use network load balancer, when we have millions of requests. Third one, gateway. Gateway means, for example, it is a very high-end load balancer. I'm a user. I'm a user. I want to send the request to the load balancer. Okay. But I want to verify the user is trusted user or not. Okay. So in that case, before my request come to my load balancer, first of all, the request will go to the gateway load balancer. Gateway load balancer will verify user is safe or not. If it is safe, then only it will come to the my load balancer. Otherwise, it will not come here. Again, to make it simply, if I want to make it tell in a real time, for example, it is you. Okay. It is my class. Correct or not, sir? So when you will come to my class, if you pay the amount, so our admins are going to verify you or not, sir. Once admin verify your roll number, then only the admins are going to allow to my class. Here you is nothing but user. I am the load balancer. And who is the gateway load balancer here? Admins. Is the concept clear now? That is the gateway load balancer. You can check it here in the description part. When I go for gateway load balancer, see, choose a gateway load balancer when you need to deploy and manage fleet of third-party virtual appliances. That means you want to deploy the third-party servers and everything that support Genew. Okay. These appliances enable you to improve security, compliance, and policy controls. Is the point clear for you? Know? That means instead of sending the request directly to the any of the thing, first of all, send it to third party. See, gateway is third party load balancer. I mean, it will send request to third party service and the third party service will verify. Then only the request will come to the server itself. If you go for click on info, here you can get this one. Client to make a request to your application. Load balancer receive the request based on the route table configuration that are set within your VPC. But again, you don't know what is a route table here. I'll explain on VPC concept. Okay. That's it. Now again, sir, for example, how many servers are using the application here? 2. Let's say in future, you want to create one more service. Now that one more server also need to deploy the application and that one more server also need to distribute the load. Currently, you are managing a application with 2 servers. But in future, if load is very increasing, then what we do? We create the new server and we deploy the same application. Correct or not, sir? Now, how to attach the new server to the existing load balancer? It is very easy. First of all, create a server. This time it is my server number 3. So web server 3. Availability zone. What you need to take now? Correct. 1C, 1D, anything. It's up to your choice. No need to follow alphabetical order. Okay. This time I'll take 1D. What I'll take? Or 1F. Anything is fine. I'm taking 1F. Okay. Now again in this server, we need to deploy the application or not, sir? So I need to get the new index.html here. What I need to get? That means same application I'm going to deploy. Okay. There is nothing new. But again, you can use my script also. If you don't like to do this manually, please go and use my script. That is also going to work for you. Okay. In the meanwhile, I'll copy the index.html from this server and I'll paste it here. Cat index.html. I'm installing Apache and you need to start it. Even if you go to my script, the first step is installing Apache and starting the script in my script. Okay. And go for status. Done. What is the path? var www and go for VM index dot HTML. Now this HTML already I have here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste everything, but the only change I'll do is I'll put the Paytm movies 3. Why? Because if I don't put that one, I cannot able to recognize my server is giving which application from which node. Okay. This is for my identification only. Okay. And again, if I go here, let's go and check my application is running here or not. Is my application running here? Now I want to add this new server to my load balancer. How you can do it? First of all, go to load balancer. In the load balancer, if I go and click on this one, in the section of networking mapping, currently how many availability zones are added here? 1A, 1B. Coming to resources here. For this load balancer, I have only one rule. And how many number of target groups are there? 1. How many servers are attached here? 2. Now how to attach the new server means, first of all, go to the target group. In the target group section, here click on register target. What you need to click on? So select the server number 3 and click on include as pending below. Now the moment if I do this one, my target group will be added, but the state will be unused. Which one? Why it will come for unused state? The answer I am just giving. You can see the answer. What is the answer? Target is in availability zone, that is not enabled for the. Array man, like you are using the target group. You are adding new server. But for new server, in the load balancer, have we enabled the USCs to 1F? No. If you go to your load balancer, in the network mapping, you have only 1A, 1B. But where is 1F here? No, right? So click on edit subnet, click on 1F. Why? Because my server number 3 is running on. The moment if I click on this one, and again if I go back to my target group, previously I have 2 targets running. But currently if I click on refresh, it's on which status now? It will initialize. Okay. After some time, you can see the application request will go to server number 3 also. Wait for it. And in Monday, I'm going to give you an update for all of you. So remind me, okay? Remind me on the Monday, I'll give you an update for you. Okay. So currently, server number 3 is on which state? Now, if I go and click on refresh, my request will go to server number 3 or not, sir? That means my server number 3 also distributing the load. So like this, even in this way, you can able to add new servers to deploy the load actually. So now load will go to server number 3 also. Now in future, if you don't want your server number 3 anymore, what you can do is in the section of this one, click on deregister. Which one? If I click on deregister, now load will not go to my server number 3. Of course, my server number 3 will be there, but load will not go. Try to check out. 2, 1. Again, it come to 2, 1. Correct or not, sir? Why? Because I have deregister. And again, if I want to use it on upcoming days, what I can do? Again, I click on register target. Again, I need to click on this new one. Click on including as pending below register. Now again, we need to wait for 30 seconds in order to get the status as healthy. Wait for it. Is it get healthy now? Click on refresh. Is the request going to server number 3 now? That's it. Okay. So in this way, you can able to add and you can able to remove the nodes to the load balancer. And again, one more interview question will come to the experienced people. What kind of algorithm you are going to use for the load balancer? What kind of algorithm you are using the load balance, like you are using for the load balancer? The answer is round robin algorithm. Which one? Round robin algorithm means, for example, if I have two servers, first request will go to server 1, second request go to server 2, third request server 1, fourth request server 2, fifth request server 1, again sixth request. This algorithm is called as RR algorithm. Which one? RR stand for round robin. Which one? Round robin. Hmm. So like this round robin algorithm will work. And there is what, like there are some algorithms. One of the other algorithm is least connection. Which one? Least connection means, for example, if I have 10 requests, already if this server is having 2 requests, now which server is having the less request? Second. Now all the requests will go to these servers. And next one will be weighted algorithm. Which one? So if I have 10 requests, I will give weight as 3 for server 1 and weight as 7 for server number 2. Now out of 10, 7 requests will go to server number 2 and 3 requests will come to server number 1. That is called as weighted algorithm. Which one? Like this we have round robin algorithm, weighted algorithm, least connection, and sticky session also. We have total 8 to 9 algorithms in the load balancer actually. Total I think 12, I think so. So, but among which one is famous is gonna be round robin only. Which one? In real time, we just use round robin. If you want me to show the algorithms, let me show it. Load balancer algorithms. If I go and show you this one. Like, let me go for the images. Images will be very helpful for you. Are you able to see the images here? In the image, first of all, what you are seeing here, round robin, which is very, very famous one. Second one is sticky. Just now I said. Third one is weighted round robin. Fourth one is IP or URL hash. Fifth one is least connections, I said. And sixth one is least time means which server will take least time to connect. Request will go to that server. For example, I have two servers. Server number take only 1 second to give the output. Server number 2 will take 5 seconds. Automatically the request will go to server number 1 only. Why? Because server number give output within only. So these type of the algorithms. Again, here it is showing only 6, but we are having up to 8 to 10 algorithms in the real time actually. But you don't need to remember everything. If somebody asks you what is the algorithm you are going to use, means tell them. And if alternative they ask means least connection, lightweight, IP, stickies, anything you can say. This is the question for the experienced people actually, not for the fresher. Okay. That's it. So this is the concept of our load balancer. And one more thing. So when you use load balancer, you are using servers. You are going to pay amount for the servers actually. And load balancer and target groups are decoupled. That means if you delete load balancer, still target group will be there. Or if you delete target group, still load balancer will be there. That is called as decoupling. Which one? Coupling means both will be deleted at same time. Decoupling means both will not delete at a same time. Like that. And the next thing I want to tell for you is here. Here in the target group section, you can see some health checks actually. Which one? Let me explain what is the health check. First of all, what is the protocol here we are using? But in real time, we use HTTPS. For that purpose, we need to buy the TLS certificate. Which one? Second one, path. I'm getting from /path. So here, if I go and see healthy threshold, what is the meaning of healthy threshold? You know, it is my server. It is my server. First user send the request. Second user also send. Third user send. Fourth user send. Fifth user send. Like this, 5 times I send a request. 5 times I get the output correctly. Then my load balancer is on healthy status. Load balancer is on. Whenever you send the request 5 times and 5 times you get the correct output without delay, without wrong. So my load balancer is on healthy status. In the same way, unhealthy threshold. Sir, if I send a request for 2 times and I'm not getting output 2 times properly, in that case, unhealthy. Timeout. If I send a request and if I'm not getting response within 5 seconds, that is called as one fail check. One fail check. Like that, I send 2 times the request. 2 times I'm not getting the response within 5 seconds. Then my application will be unhealthy. And interval. Interval means time duration between check number 1 and check number 2. Success code means if you get the output properly, the code will be 200. Let me show this one. Whenever if you access any application, after accessing, what is the status code you are getting here? 200. Wherever if you go and see, you will be getting the status code only 200 means your application is successfully accessed by the user. Is it clear for you? So again, I'll tell one more time for you. Healthy threshold means if your application give output correctly 5 times consecutively, that means like one by one, one by one, one by one, like that, you get 5 times output perfectly. Then your application is on healthy. Whenever I send a request, but my server is not giving proper response, 2 times I got failed, then the application means load balancer here, okay? Timeout means if I send a request, but within 5 seconds I'm not getting the response, then that is called as timeout. First time I got the timeout. Second time also send the request. Again, I'm not getting the response within 5 seconds. Again, it is second timeout. Then my application will be failed. Interval means time duration between first check and second check. That means it's my server. I'm sending a request. After request is sent, I want to send one more request. I need to wait for how many seconds? 30 seconds. And after I get a request and I get the successful response, status code will be 200. So these are called as health checks actually. Which one? By default, we get values like this. If you want to change, click on edit and you can change the values also. Are you able to see the advanced option? Can you able to change the values or not, sir? Instead of 2, I'll put 4 here. Instead of it is the concept of the load balancer. Which one? Now I'm going to delete the load balancer here. I'll go here. The actions, click on delete the. Already I said load balancer and target group are. Even though if I delete the load balancer, my target group will not be deleted. Is it still existing or not, sir? Now I'll go and I'll remove them also. Delete. Even though if I remove load balancer and target group, still my servers will be running. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the running servers also. So this is the concept of elastic load balancer. Which one? So now before I delete them, first of all, before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? The class clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm me how's the class for all of you today? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Okay. So now take this picture, all of you. Anyways, I'm going to give the notes for all of you, but take that picture. Why? Because that picture will have the complete details of the load balancer, how it is going to work. Take it. So now it's time for our doubts and queries. So online or offline, if you are having any queries or today's class, you can ask me now. Online, you can raise your hand. I'm going to give unmute option for you, and offline, you can go ahead. So Kirtana, if you want me to HTTPS explanation, we need to buy a domain. If we can buy a domain, then only we can add the HTTPS actually. Okay. In HTTPS, S stand for Secure Socket Layer or TLS certificate. We need to buy that separately. Then only we can able to use it here. So tomorrow we have mock interview. No, I'll be going to conduct an upcoming week. Okay. Because last week only we conducted, na? So not this week. In the upcoming week, I'm gonna conduct the mock interview. Sir, when is your next batch going to start? Even I don't know. Yes, Akhil, we have class tomorrow. I'm gonna give all the AWS PDFs now. Give me a question or like give me a second. Mm, AWS materials. So guys, I have given all the AWS materials in the Google Classroom. You can go ahead and you can check them. Okay. Fine. So now any doubts or any queries from your end? Nothing doubts, huh? Ask me something, man, at least. You know, when I'll feel very happy, when I get lot of doubts from you, that I'll feel very happy. Is that a doubt? Oh, so I tell you that anything you can ask me, so you are asking, sir, is Kubernetes done? Na? By God grace, you are not asking the mathematical equations. I'm very happy. Kubernetes is done. Okay. Yeah. That I'm going to tell in the upcoming days for you. Still it is pending. I'll tell. Whatever there is there, I'm gonna cover in the upcoming days. Okay. Don't worry about as of them. See, I'll teach whatever I want to teach, then only I'm gonna send you out of the course. Okay. Don't worry. Network load balancer we don't use. Application is enough. Okay. Till any queries? Hmm. Hmm. That is for very big applications. All companies, why they will use big applications? Sorry. Huh? Hmm. See, big application means Netflix, Amazon Prime. Okay, these will be called as big applications. Remaining rest of the application are normal applications only. Okay. By the way, in real time, if the application is very big, we use microservices. If the application is normal, we go for monolithic actually. Oh, when we install the, oh, okay. What is the error? If you tell me the error, like I can tell you the answer for it. I'm asking like, what is the error? Okay, if you are having the error, post on the Telegram channel. I'll reply from there. Why? Because without seeing the error, how can I tell the answer for it? It's not possible, right? Okay. So guys, that's it for today. Let's connect on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye all. Thank you everyone. Thank you all.